Hello, everybody, and welcome. My name is Jorge Olson, and today we will talk about your beverage sales and how to reach up to 5,000 beverage distributors, wholesalers, and retail decision makers for your beverage. Beverage sales. You need to get in touch with decision makers who want to sell more beverages. Where do you start? You start right here with this webinar, and you'll see what to do next. And what is the agenda for today? Today, we will talk about how to sell more of your product, how you can work with us, and how we can do most or all of the heavy lifting for you so you can sell more beverages. And then we'll touch on your 3-year sales plan and how you can sell for the next 3 years, how you need to budget, how you need to place your goals. That's going to be covered today. One, what's the secret formula for selling more beverages? Is there a secret formula? What do you need to do to get in touch with more accounts, more distributors, and sell more beverages? Well, that's the question. But first, let me tell you a little bit about me and how I sold beverages and other products. I have my own wholesale distribution company. I've distributed to 17,000 stores. I've developed more than 1,000 different products from scratch, formulation, package, design, target market, everything. And I've been in the industry working at all levels of beverage, everything that you can imagine, merchandising, sales, working with distributors, doing private label, everything that you can imagine that you can do in beverage, I've done or tried to do or learn from others and how they do it. A lot of you already know me, and they know I made every mistake in the book, and I also wrote the book on beverages. The book I wrote is Build Your Beverage Empire, and it goes over everything that you need to learn to get into the beverage industry. During my tenure as a beverage entrepreneur, beverage executive, and beverage consultant, I've made every mistake in the book. Everything that you can imagine, every mistake that you've made, I've probably made it, and a few times, because I've been involved with so many projects, with so many beverages. But that's good for you. Well, it's good for us because I learned from my mistakes, and now you will learn from my mistakes so that you don't have to learn from your own mistakes. So what's the secret formula? It's no secret. It is a formula. It's leads. If you want to succeed in the beverage industry, you need more leads. You need to get in touch with more accounts, more distributors, more decision makers, more retailers, more brokers, more of everything. Yes, I'm all for strategy and having strategic partners, like your distributors can be strategic partners. But if you want to open 100 accounts, 500 accounts, 1,000, 2,000 accounts per month, well, you need to get in touch with more than 2,000 accounts per month to open 2,000 accounts. So leads is a big deal here. You start with leads with distributors, then retailers, and then, of course, you move to consumers. But before you can get to the consumer, you need leads of distributors, leads of retailers, so that you can close them, so that you can have more retail space and more distributors selling your product. So how to sell more product? You have to start with leads. Once you have your leads, then you can start going after distributors, going after retailers, and of course you need consumers, and you need repeat customers as well. Before you can go forward, you need prospects. From the prospects, you need to pick the leads, and then you have to start with leads. Now, if you're not getting at least 2 to 20 leads every single week, it's not enough. You need to contact hundreds of people to get leads. Let's go with the distribution channel. Do you already know what is your distribution channel? Are you going through beer distributors? Are you going through wholesalers? Are you going through food service? How about house programs? You need to know your distribution channels first. Now, your distribution channels can be jobbers, as you see here on top. small distributors or jobbers. If you want to go bigger, maybe it's beer distributors, and you're going with the Coors, with Miller Coors or Budweiser distributors, 3-tier distribution system. So maybe you decide to do something different. Maybe it's warehouse programs, selling directly to chains, selling directly to pharmacies, to supermarkets, or food service. You need to pick the perfect channel for your product and one that you can sustain as well. How can you reach your channel? Well, these are some examples of how you reach the channel. You are over here at the left, the manufacturer, and you want to get over here to the account. So there's different ways. Let's say that you want to sell directly to supermarkets through warehouse programs. Well, you can sell just to the retailer directly. That's a warehouse program. Or you can get to the supermarket through a broker. You get to them through a broker, and then the broker puts you into the warehouse program. Maybe you get there through a distributor. You get the drift. Or if you want to get to convenience stores, 7-Eleven, Circle K, Valero's, Shell, A&P's, etc., maybe independents as well. What do you do then? Same example. Maybe you go through wholesalers or consolidators first that sell to distributors, that then sell to the retailer. That's an example. You can also sell directly to a distributor. You can use a broker. But you need to know your channel. That's the lesson. You need to know the channel that you want first, not just start targeting everybody and see who gets in. That's not the way to do it. You need to choose your channel, and you need to know why you have that channel. So you are here, and you have different options when going through your distribution channel. You have the convenience channel as an example here, and you have mass retail, which is supermarkets, pharmacy, and other chains. How are you going to get through them? Make your own chart like this one. Make your own mind map so you know what's best for you. Maybe you're going to go through brokers all the time and let the brokers do the heavy lifting. You're going to have to pay them and give them a hefty commission if you want them to do more than just introductions. If you want them to actually target some distributors that will get you into convenience, they're not going to do it for 5%. That's a lot of work. Then they have to go out and open stores. Or you can hire your own team to go open stores. It's up to you, but you need to know your channel. Create your own mind map. Start with a notebook. Take this as an example and start creating your own mind map of where you want your products to go. Is it mass retail? Is it convenience? Are you going to use cash and carries? Are you going to use consolidators? Are you going to sell directly, drop ship? Are you going to do brokers? Are you going to do warehouse programs? Create your map. Make it part of your business plan, of your sales plan, of your marketing plan. Have it near your office. Have it near your desk so that your team can see it. Having a mind is very important, not just for distribution, but everything in your business. What is your big picture sales plan? This is an example of what you need to be thinking of to start selling your product. Not once you have 10,000 stores, but before you have 10,000 stores, before you have distributors, or when you have only 1 or 2 distributors. Number one, you have to get leads. If you don't have leads, you will not get distributors. So get the leads. What's the follow-up process? You get the leads, hopefully hundreds of leads, then you send samples. You send samples, or what I like to send is a distribution package. You send your distribution package, which closes the deal, tells them that you're serious, tells them what you're going to do for them. You send your sample to your distribution package, and you follow up. How do you follow up? Well, follow up by phone. Don't follow up by email. You have to follow up by phone. I know sometimes it's hard. You have to leave messages after messages after messages for somebody to call you back. That's part of the game. Follow up. Once you follow up, close the sale. You're not going to close every single one, but remember, if you're calling distributors and your leads are a combination of distributors, retailers, wholesalers, you're going to close some distributors, you're going to close a lot of retailers. We do a program with a beverage company where we get the leads for their distribution. So we call the actual stores in their territory, we get the leads, they just go and close the sale or deliver the product. So before, they didn't know how many they could close a day, where to deliver, or where to start. Now they know. They get up in the morning, they know where to go to deliver the product. So it's very important that you can deliver the product, that you know what to do, and that you have those leads. Don't just concentrate on distributors. You need the retailers, because remember, distributors will like you more if you have some account. After you close the sale, then you send the product. You still have to follow up, because what you want is to sell more product. Remember what I always say, if you sell it once, it doesn't count. You need to sell it over and over again. And very important, you need to support your brand. You need to make sure that the product keeps selling every month. And you can do this with promotions, advertising, sampling, depending on the budget. But it all starts with leads and with the proper follow-up of the leads. That's number one. Without that, it's not going to work. How do you start getting leads? Right? How do you start getting leads? That's the question you're thinking. Let's go over that. Let's go back to the process. This is you over here, and you want to get to the jobbers or the distributors or the wholesalers or food service or whatever your channel is. That's where you want to get to. What do? You can call them on the phone and do phone sales. That's number one. You can do advertising, maybe billboards, maybe TV, maybe something else, and get through them that way. By the way, after this, I'm going to tell you my way and the way we can work together. But these are some options. You can do magazine advertising as well. There's some great trade magazines that you can use. You can do trade shows, which are a bit expensive, but you can use trade shows. Now, what is the result that you're going to get from all of this, and what's the cost related to all of these? Well, let's see. Let's see how this works. Let's say that you want to hire your own team of salespeople and get them on the phone, start getting some leads, start calling some distributors, some retailers, some decision makers. Let's say that you hire 3 guys. And let's say that all in all, with rent, with tax, with everything, employment tax, everything depending on your state, let's say that each one is $50,000. That includes your rent, your phone, your insurance, everything that you have to pay. That's $150,000. What do you expect? We'll talk about that. Now, let's say trade magazines. Well, they're not so expensive. If you work out a good deal for the whole year, you could get them for maybe $2,500. It's a stretch, but you could if you negotiate and pay them up front, maybe $25,000 up front. You can average it out to $2,500 times 4 times 12 months. So now you're at 120 grand, right? It's 4 magazines times $2,500 per magazine, $10,000 for 12 months. That's not a small budget, but it works. How about trade shows? Well, some of you might think $15,000 for a trade show is not realistic, because at the end of the day, you end up spending a lot more. You think you're going in for $3,000 for $2,500, but you're really not. Once you put in the booth, you put in the carpet, you put in everything that you have to pay for, your plane, your hotel, food, and if you have employees, promo girls, etc., it is conservative if you have a $15,000 booth. If you only do 4 shows, you're at $60,000. Now, is that a little, a lot? What is that? Well, let's see the results that you're going to get. Number 1, you need to train these people. Remember that. These are not VPs or directors of sales. So you need to train them. So you're going to get the clients that we work with who have their own team are getting about 1 or 2 leads per week. About magazines, you can expect to get about 2 or 3 leads per month from magazines. If you're very lucky, if your product is very good. How about trade shows? The average trade show will yield 6 leads. 6 work leads. I don't mean the students and other people that go in. I mean workable leads that you can follow up. Now, the problem with some of these is, especially in the trade shows, is the follow-up. You go to a trade show, you might get the phone numbers of 100 people. You don't know who those 6 leads are. You have to follow up with everybody, do an average of 4 calls per person, 400 calls to get the 6 leads. So it's a trade show plus 400 calls to get your 6 leads, not sales, leads. So that's a good rule of thumb. So it depends on what your budget is. If it's $150,000, $120,000, or $60,000. But once you see what you per lead, you're getting, each lead can be $2,000, $3,000, not a customer, lead. You still have to call them, sell them, maybe visit them. So it's not easy. I don't recommend that you start with those. We go back to the same problem. How do I get in touch with all these jobbers, distributors, brokers, all these stores, all these decision makers? How do I get more leads without going to trade shows, without spending all this money, without hiring a bunch of employees? Well, this is the new program that I want to present to you that we are developing. We've done this program, but only exclusively for our mentoring clients and consulting clients. We've never had it open for the public. This is the first time that we have this program open to the public. It is called the Lead Acceleration Program, and it is very inexpensive, and it is made so you can get more leads faster. Now, this is not full service like we do for our other customers where we call them from day one. You're going to have to do a little bit of work, but you'll be able to contact thousands of our personal distributors. Yes, that's right. You're going to be able to contact our distributors on your own now. You're not going to have to use us. This is an overview of the program. You can call and get more information on the program, but this is the overview. You're going to select who you want to target. Do you want wholesalers, distributors, convenience stores, supermarkets? Do you want something else? Maybe you want Walgreens stores. I don't know. Select your target market. Select your channel of distribution first. That's number one. Number two, we're not going to just leave you hanging. We're going to give you the right advice so you can pick the right channel, so you can get the good prospects. You're going to get on the phone with one of our managers, of our brand managers, and they will tell you, depending on your brand, who you should target. Now, you're going to make the final decision, but you're going to get this for free. Now, remember, we charge, this is part of our mentoring program. For this program, you're going to get that for free. You're going to target the emails of the people that you want to get in contact with, and you will craft a message. We will help you do it because we already know how to contact distributors to get some response. So we will help you craft your message, not just, this is my product, buy it, call me. No, you have to have a unique selling proposition. You have to offer something. Otherwise, you're not going to get anybody calling you. Now, what can you do with our lead acceleration program? Number one, you can start with at least 1,000 prospects, and we put a cap of 20,000. So you cannot do more than 20,000 right now. These are people that are already in our database. These are people that we call every week. Remember, we call thousands of distributors every week on behalf of our customers. These are the same people that you will be able to contact now on your own. You're going to put your product in front of the right decision makers, the decision makers that you want, that you target. And then you can follow up with samples, with sell sheets. You can create your own distributor package, and you can close the sale. Then you have to go over the support and what you're going to do for them, but that's up to you. You're going to do that directly with them. We're not going to charge you for that. We're not going to charge you a broker fee. We're not going to charge you anything for that. It's going to be your contract with them. What is the process? Well, you have to start by calling your project manager. Yes, You will have your own dedicated project manager. You're not going to get any consulting like our other clients that have food service, but you will get, in the beginning, some help so you know who you can target. Once you know who you can target, your project manager will help you create your message. They will review it before we send it to our database, and you can get started immediately. All you need to do is have a phone number where people can call you and have your sell sheets ready, or have the image of your product ready, or the pricing ready, so you can get started immediately. You can get started right after you're finished with this webinar. Now, why do we do this? Well, we do this on our own to sell our own products and to sell our customers' products. We do exactly what you will be able to do now. We do one step more, which is what you'll do, and we do it for our food service clients, which is we have sales managers and salespeople who actually call back, and samples if necessary, etc. That you'll do on your own. So this is not food service. You're going to have to do some work, but we're going to provide you with our own private database that took 10 years to develop. Now remember, we've talked personally. We've talked to more than 50,000 retail accounts. That's right, 50,000, 50. How do we do it? Well, we have a call center, as you can imagine. We've also had our own distribution company on the road, visiting stores all the time for our products and our clients and partners' products as well. How many stores have you visited? More than 5,000 stores personally that we go either to check the stores, to open the stores. Now, this is not just our employees. This is us, the management team that are visiting these stores. If we count the employees, well, geez, I don't know, it's 30, 35,000 then. Now, we all have many brokers that work in our team, and you can also email our brokers. A broker is a person that will not buy your product, but will find accounts for you so that you'll multiply your efforts. And we also have thousands of brokers in our team. We've spent more than $2 million of our own money developing these tools, developing these channels over the last 10 years. And we've done more than 1,000 different products in testing these tools. Of course, we're not going to charge you that because this is not a full service product. This is a marketing product. So what we're going to charge for this product is $250. That's it. $250 for every 1,000 prospects that you want. The maximum is 20,000, and you can start with just 1,000. That's it. You can get started today, and if you have all of your ducks in a row, it'll go out tomorrow. If you need to get some of your paperwork done, some of your sell sheets or something else, then it will go out in a week. Yes, it'll go out in a week at the most while you get all of your products together. What can you expect? Well, you can expect the right people that you choose getting in contact with you directly, not through us now, for your products. Now, if you want to have your product in our website that's visited by hundreds of distributors, we can also do that. Talk to your product manager about that. Again, every $250, you will contact 1,000 prospects that you choose. Wholesalers, distributors, retailers, Walgreens stores, retail stores, convenience stores, whatever you want. It'll be a crafted email that will have your number and details about your product, and just specifications, but something that can hook them, something special. We don't want to send just, oh, this is my product, this is my phone number, and this is the description. No. It has to be a crafted, unique selling proposition. What is the value to this distributor? What will they get? How much will they make is not enough. Why is your product special? That's what you need. Now, if you get at least $2,000, which is $500, you will get included lead management training and 1 month in our insider circle. That's more than $1,000 worth just by getting 2,000 prospects, which is $500. We have dozens of people in our circles, in our insider circle, in our training, and even in our more expensive one-to-one mentoring, which starts at $500 to $10,000 per month. You will get that just by choosing 2,000 prospects, which is $500 for your first test. Now, what we want, as you can imagine, is that you're so happy with the service that you work with us as a full service customer, where you use us as your VP of sales, as your sales team. So we want to blow this out of the water for you so that you think we are great and you work with us with our more full service programs. You can sign up right now by clicking here, and I will see you at the other end. And this is your opportunity to talk about your product. Each week we have a brand new webinar. This one was about a service that we're offering, a new service that we're offering, and we very rarely do that. Most of our webinars, if not all of them, and they are 100% value information packed, and they're part of books that we're writing and other information that we're gathering. Next Thursday, we're going to have a webinar with a special guest, Rob, from 5 Hour Energy, because we're writing a book together about how to take your product globally. So stay tuned on Thursday at 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time to go over your questions. You can start typing your questions right now, and I will see them in the moderation and start answering all of your questions. One question is, does everybody here have a product already? No, not everybody has a product. We have webinars on product development, and you can call the office and go over our product development process. We have full service product development. We are the largest full service beverage consulting firm in the country, so we can help you with your production, with your branding, with your research, and we have a package for everything included, all service VIP product development. The other question is, how can I get my hot sauce into stores? Well, that's a different product, but you follow the same tendency. A hot sauce is mostly sold on stores and supermarkets, but it's also sold in food service. So you can participate on this program, but you would email wholesalers, food service distributors, not beverage distributors. What you want is supermarkets. So either call the office if you want food service, or at the end of this, you'll be transferred to a link where you can get started with this program. As soon as the session ends, you'll be transferred to the program where you can get started, or you can click on the link here, or you can see the link here underneath, www.beverage/sales.com, beverage-sales.com, and you can get started with this particular program, or you can call the office and get started with a custom program. That was the other question that we have here. Steve, I'm not gonna share the link with everybody so that your link is safe. But let me answer your question. I'll go look at it. I'll forward it to the team as well. Get in contact with them, or send your contact information so they can get in contact. You can get to this program, or you can get started with the next programs as well. But we would love to have you on board and test it out, see what you think. I'm sure you'll be delighted. Let me share, or somebody from the office, please share the office number on the chat so that people can see it. We'll share the office number right here in the chat so you can see it. You can also go to liquidbrandsmanagement.com and get it from there. So you can go there and contact us. If you want to get started with this particular program, you can go to that link right there, and they're going to share the phone number right here. With you. There it is. Another question here. Paul asked, does the product contain major beer distributors? Yes, it contains major beer distributors if that's what you want. Now, Paul, once you speak with your project manager, they will advise you if that's the correct way to go for you, because these guys require funding. So if you can support them with accounts, that's the way to go. If not, I would recommend somebody smaller or a broker that can get you into the accounts, or a combination of distributors and accounts. But we've done programs where we're contacting after, for food service, we do about 1,500 to 2,000 calls to distributors. So when you're a full service customer, we call 2,000 beer distributors on your behalf. You can send them an email as well with this program, and then you follow up on your own. It's up to you. But yes, it contains major distributors. If you only want major distributors, you will only get major distributors. I don't know enough about your beverage to recommend one or the other, but they'll help you in the office once you get started. We can do it by territory. We can do it low-hanging fruit, by size of distributor, depending on where you are, where you want to ship from, where you want to support. If you already have regional sales managers, then I do recommend beer distributors in the areas where you have them, so then they can follow up. Okay. Can you specify a prospect to a specific territory? Yes. We can do that. You can do territory by metro area, by city, by zip code, whatever you want. You can mix and match territory with what type of prospects. We can do that as well. We can even do it for investors. If you don't have the right investment to target the right distributor, we can help you target some of the investors that subscribe to our databases already. And remember, if they subscribe to a database that we have, they want to hear from you. They want to participate in my deal flow, and that's how we do it. So yes, you can target territories as well. Aaron asked that I mention brokers. Yes, there's a percentage that you have to pay the brokers. The distributor will buy the product from you, but you have to pay the broker a percentage of what they buy from you, either the retailer or distributor. It depends on the broker. If you want a full service broker, nowadays they charge as well. So in the good old days, the full service brokers didn't charge anything, but of course, you needed to spend major bucks on advertising. Nowadays, you can still get a full-service broker if you get them with a base fee plus a 5 to 10% commission without spending $1 million in advertising. If you do spend $1 million in advertising, they'll probably not charge you a base fee, but they'll still charge you a percentage of sales. And this is paid net sales. So when you get paid, you pay them. I love brokers, by the way, and I would use them. I would recommend them. We use them all the time. We have our own network of brokers that we use, and we always protect them. We always pay them. I recommend that you always pay them as well. Don't try to cut them once you're in the store because you'll lose the store. Todd asked, what are the benefits of using a cash and carry? A cash and carry depends on your product. The products are specific. They need to be specific to a cash and carry. I've used some urban products in cash and carry in the Deep South, for example, and it worked tremendously. I put the same products in cash and carries in California, and I didn't sell a single can. So it depends largely on the product. A cash and carry can act as a consolidator. They can buy more, and then they can sell it to jobbers and other distributors. That's why I like them. If your product does not fit the criteria of a cash and carry, then it needs to have a volume, and then they'll take it. But if you just put it in a cash and carry, and it doesn't belong there because you either don't have the volume or it's not an urban product, don't use the cash and carry. You need somebody who can go out and open stores first. And I'm going down the list here. For a beverage made outside the U.S., do you have ethnic food groups in the list? Yes, we do. Yes, you can target groups. I would go with retail ethnic groups, not distributors, unless it's Mexican, because Mexican groups are very easy to target. We sell to a lot of Mexican distributors all over the U.S. We've worked with some of the largest Mexican brands, so we are in touch often. We sell truckloads and truckloads every single month of Mexican distributors to Mexican of Mexican products to Mexican distributors. If it's not a Mexican product, then I would recommend targeting retailers. And yes, we could target your message to retailers by email. We can also do fax in this case because a lot of them prefer fax when it's ethnic. So we could tailor it. Okay, a question about organic drinks. Now, for organic drinks, the question is, what are the best channels? The best channel to start with an organic drink would be the natural channel. Or you can use a specialty channel like delis or some specialty food service channel. If you don't want to do food service and you want to do retail, then you need to go natural channel. Definitely natural channel. People there pay more and read labels. Organic is going to be a little more expensive, and that consumer has more money as well. So you have to go organic. I mean, you have to go natural. And of course, there's specialty distributors for natural. We also call natural accounts. We call the buyer, and we call the stores for national accounts and local accounts for the natural channel. Dan asked, what's the insider circle? The insider circle are mentoring programs that we have with certain people. Some programs are private. There's a few people here on the webinar who are members of our insider circle. And there's some that are members of my private insider circle, which is more expensive. It goes up to $20,000 per month. And these are people that we mentor, not just on the beverage, but also on their business, their exit strategy, their funding. Are they making the right decisions? Are they going after the right channel? So it's more of an executive mentoring, not just a product mentoring, and that's the insider circle. This is why we have two programs included, one for you and one for your product. The one for your product, it's all about selling your product. The one for you is making sure that you're getting the right funding, you're getting the right partners, you're hanging out with the right people for you and for your company. And this is what we do with the insider circles, and we have them not just for the beverage industry, but for consumer packaged goods. And I personally have other people in my insider circle that are not in the industry. They're investors, they're in software, or they're retired and now working more on giving back to the community, philanthropy, and we focus on that with them. That's the insider circle. Good question. I like that question, Dan. Again, can we target prospect with geographic territory? Absolutely. Geographic and geographic is something else as well, so you can mix and match. Well, if you want to find the ethnic, I misunderstood the drink, or do you want to find the retailers? It's a different question. If you want to find the drink, well, we have hundreds of drinks listed of our customers. We've worked with hundreds of entrepreneurs and companies, so we can find whatever drink you want. I'm betting some of the people on this call have the drink that you want. Now, if you're looking for the consumer, then you have to go by zip code. You have to go by census information, and that's how you would target the consumer. If you want to go by retailer, then we segment retailers on depending on if they're mainstream or ethnic. So we personally do it by SIC code. That's the way we do it, or just by calling them, and we already have in our customer relationship management that ethnic group. Another question? This is about bottling. If I want to bottle a few hundred test bottles, yes, you can test them, because if we do a product for you, we have to make it where you can actually drink it. If not, they're just samples. So if you're going to put it in the actual bottle, your bottle needs to be, and your label needs to be reviewed already by an attorney who specializes in labels, so that you can sell it, and then you can test it. If you don't go through your attorney and through an FDA label attorney, then I would not recommend that you test it in store. We always encourage people to speak with the attorney first, because we are not attorneys. We send our own products to a label lawyer so they can look at it. You should do the same before selling, or even before putting it out in the marketplace. And yes, you can do a couple of hundred test bottles. Absolutely, I recommend that you do it instead of spending $50,000 or $100,000 in a production run. We do have programs for setting up store promotions. We do have programs for that. This particular program that is $250 is not included, but we do have programs depending on the city. We don't have employees all over the U.S., so it will depend on that we can set up promotions for you, and we can advise you on out of the cities that we work with on how much you should pay. But it will depend on the product. We need to know much more about your product to make the right decision on store or in-store promotions. Can you target chain C-store buyers? Yes, you can target category buyers at chains. If you are funded already and you have slotting or you have whatever you need to get in there, of course you need to target them. But you need to know what you're getting yourself into, because if you do it the wrong way and then you get funded and then you have everything you need, then it's tough to get the second appointment. So yes, we can target category buyers at supermarkets, at C-stores, whatever you want. But you have to make sure that your product is right for the market. It's funded for the market as well. If it's funded for the market, you walk up, you make an appointment, and you just walk to the category buyer. And most of the ones you're looking for are probably in Texas. Support a functional juice, there's no one stage. You need to develop a business plan and a target. Once you have your target, the question is, how much money do you need to support a brand? The question is it's another webinar. Actually, we gave a webinar on this already. James, if you missed it, go to the website and just type there what you can do to get it, because you should get it and it's free. So you should get it because we go over the budget that you need first to open the stores and then to support the brand. So James, make sure that you get Either you call the office or you send an email so you get that webinar. I don't remember if it's last week or 2 weeks ago, but you need it because we go an hour or an hour and a half answering this question. I need to know much more about your product to answer this question. There's no one number. It depends on your goal, your sales goals, the targets. You want to go beer distributors? Are you going to go warehouse programs? Is this a counter item? Is this a beverage? Are you going to buy shelf space? It depends. Uh, Aaron, you need to call the office for this. This is a very specific question for your product, and this is private to you, so you need to speak privately with the account manager. But yes, by the way, we can open stores also one by one. It's part of the program. The program is thousands of stores if you can support them. We go back again to the support. If we open 1,000 stores for you and the product doesn't sell, it's a big problem. It's a big problem for you, and it's a big problem for us because when we go back, our customers are going to complain, and it's tough for us to place more product if it doesn't sell. So your product needs to have some sort of a campaign to sell it off the shelf once we place it on the shelf. So Aaron, call the office and ask about the different campaigns depending on what you can do for support. For distributors of beverages. Well, there's a standard, and then it deviates from the standard, but the standard can go 30 to 40% and 20 to 30%. So a retailer can make 30 to 40%. Sometimes I give them 50% if I have the margin. So if it's an in-and-out program, dropship program, counter program, I give them 50%. But the standard is 30 to 40%. Now, remember, convenience stores are going to take 50% whether you give it to them or not. So if you sell an energy drink to a retail store, a convenience store, you give them 30, 35, 40%, and you want them to sell it at $1.99, they're going to sell it at $2.29, $2.39, $2.49, like you see in the stores, Red Bull, Monster, Rockstar. If you go into a supermarket or pharmacy, you might see it at $2.99 because they're taking their 33% or 40%. So those are the rule of thumbs. This is for Steve. Okay, explain affordable promotions and scan downs. Well, I need to know more about your product, but yes, you can do, I don't like scan downs. I like promotions, I don't like scan downs, but if you tell us more about your product and what you can do, it's also for mass. So those strategies are used more for mass. I don't like any type of scam program, but we can go over what you can do with the different chains. Now, we target it per chain, depending on the category buyer. If you're, Anthony, an existing company and you are getting already numbers, you just need to know, well, we need more. You need to call the office and talk to one of our senior guys there. So call the office. So I don't want you to share the numbers here online. You can share the numbers with them, and then they can direct you on the right path if you need beer distributors, if you need what type of distributors. The answer is, if you have good numbers, you can take those good numbers and turn them into incredible numbers with a distributor. You will need to pass some of those accounts to a distributor, but it doesn't matter because the distributor should be able to double or triple your numbers if you're only using natural. We also need to know which states you're doing it and what are the accounts that you have. If you have one or two in one city is different than if you have 20, 30, or 200. in that city. But it's very easy. It's also easier to grow and get funding if you have good numbers with those accounts. If you say, Jorge, yeah, but I can't support a Budweiser guy, well, you can show those numbers to investors so that you can leverage some investment money to get into the Budweisers or the Miller Coors of the world. So, Anthony, call the office. Remember, they're not going to charge you anything when you call. It's just so you can get a feel of what you need, and we can get a feel of where you are. We work with investors as well. Maybe your product is good for an investor. So call the office, and yes, absolutely. If you already have some numbers, congratulations, Anthony. You're on your way. You just need some knowledge to double those numbers and get the right distributors now on board. Now we got a question about size of the market. Let's see, it's for energy drinks in Asia. Okay. Smaller drinks in smaller markets. Do I think there's going to be a trend for smaller drinks in smaller markets? No, in the U.S. market. I would imagine, Jonathan, you're talking about smaller drinks, smaller size of. Yes, I think there's a category out there just waiting to explode with smaller drinks. We just need to find the right combination of drinks. I thought there was going to be shots and people could compete with 5-Hour Energy. I was half right. It is shots, but people cannot compete with 5-Hour Energy. The good thing is I work with 5-Hour Energy. The bad thing is nobody else can compete. So I'm working on personally, that's why I'm putting a lot of my efforts, Jonathan, into smaller, more creative packaging. I'm working with powders. I'm working with other sizes of products as well that do not compete with shots, but there are, and actually, funny enough, the category is one that I discovered as a child, shopping at ethnic Chinese stores. And they had product back then that I think for some reason did not make it, or they didn't try to sell the mainstream. And I think they're perfect for the U.S. market. So I'm trying to source those products. I'm trying to partner up with new entrepreneurs on those products so we can take on the U.S. with those unique smaller products. They are for the counter or for the refrigerator. As you know, I like both. I don't like tying myself to the refrigerator or the dry shelf. I absolutely love counter space. I love to be off refrigerator so you can get in faster. I love to put racks outside and inside the refrigerator. So Jonathan, absolutely, I think there's a trend, and that's where I'm putting my personal investment in. So yes. Okay, next question. Okay, for merchandising support in LA, San Francisco, and Illinois, Chicago, Illinois. We can help you out, Steve, with LA ourselves, and then we can see through partners what you can do in San Francisco. We try to stay away from the mainstream agencies because they are absolutely so expensive, and they want to follow our best practices. So we can help you find an agency that can follow our best practices so that you can actually sell in the store, not just give away product. In LA, we have partners there that we can help you with already. So this is, can we help with merchandising in LA and other markets? That was the question for that. It seems like we have all the questions. Remember, you can always call the office and schedule a conference call with one of our directors, one of our project managers, one of our brand managers, or whatever you need. You can jump on this program and test it out. You can inquire about our full service program or product development programs, or how to partner with us, or how to get your product in front of investors, or whatever you need. Thanks, Jonathan. I spoke with David, by the way, so you might want to follow up with that as well. Call the office, start a conversation. We would like to have you in our database. We speak with hundreds of distributors every day, thousands of distributors every month. Let's see if one of your product fits one of our contact distributors, investors, etc. If you're not in our radar, you never know. So make sure, call the office, get in our radar. We work with incubators, we work with investors, distributors. Get in our radar. If we don't have your information, you're not in our radar. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Don't miss next Thursday. It's going to be a killer webinar. We're going to hit it out of the park. Rob is great. You're going to love him, and you can ask him your questions directly about 5 Hour, about how they did it, about experiences. I'll see you there. I appreciate you spending time with me. Your time is valuable, and I hope you got some great information from this webinar. Bye for now. See you next week or next Thursday.